Raise your hand if you agree that you are sailing on the ship to make good money. And in fact say yes. Raise your hand again if you accept the fact that sailing on ship is quite a challenging profession. And say yes again. Now give a pat on the back of your fellow seafarer and your own, because you all chose to work in this challenging environment. And did not quit. Seafarer is more often exposed to hazards of the harsh work conditions. Therefore, it is extremely important you look after not only safety of your own, but your colleague as well. You will not make good money and provide good life for your loved ones unless you yourself are safe and sound. Now turn to the person next to you and say, we need to look after one another. Good. In day-to-day life on board, very often we hear the phrase called risk assessment. And moment we hear these words, we drop our shoulders in disgust and say, oh, no, not again. I am not going to fill up another form. We hate filling up form for the risk assessment, that most of the times we end up quietly doing the work and not even reporting about it. Simple example, climbing up the mast. How many times have we filled up a risk assessment form while changing a navigation lamp up the mast? Unfortunately, answer will be never, or rarely for most of us. Interesting, isn't it? We gamble our remaining 15 to 20 years of working life trying to save on 5 to 10 minutes of paperwork. Ask yourself, is it worth doing so? This needs to change. And it will change when we understand the real concept behind risk assessment process. We need to look at risk assessment beyond only a paperwork exercise. It is important that we understand not only importance of risk assessment, but also how easily it can be done. Interestingly, we have been involved in the risk assessment process from the time we were born. When baby is born, the child is put in the cradle which has supports on all 4 sides, to prevent the baby from falling out. As a kid we were always fascinated by idea of jumping from the sky using a parachute. And we even tried our own version of same, while we jumped from the wall, using an umbrella. We knew umbrella did not work, therefore we never jumped from heights of the building using an umbrella, isn't it? Remember your school days? Did you ever took up a fight with guys who were heavier and tougher than you? Never, because even as a kid you identified the hazards in doing so. It was not that you were scared or coward, it was in fact a perfect example of hazard identification and risk assessment. Have you ever seen a photo of a couple sitting below a coconut tree for a date? Try searching on Google Images and you won't find one easily.